When Rachael left her father's house with Jacob, she did not leave empty. She left with the idol of her father's house. She smuggled it out as a matter of fact. Nobody knew among her co travelers that she harbored something strange. This idol was not merely a physical object, it was a tangible representation of the beliefs and practices that had been ingrained in her from a young age. It symbolized the deep rooted traditions and the spiritual attachments that had shaped her identity. Rachel seemed happy to embark on her journey towards a new life, but not without her cherished idol. When an alarm was raised by the house of her father that their idol had been stolen and they came searching, she did all she could to conceal it. Rachel sat on the idol, saying she could not stand up because she was having her flow, a somewhat legitimate ground to avert scrutiny. Friends, I write concerning the church of today. Many in the church today never fully abandoned the idolatry of their old lives. They carry these remnants along into their new-found faith, believing that they can blend the old with the new, the sacred with the profane. They conceal them in fancy and somewhat acceptable slogans, dressing them up in languages that make them seem harmless or even virtuous. They even cherry pick scriptures to justify their attachments to their idolatry. For instance, when they turn men into idols, elevating religious leaders to a status of uncritical admiration, they call it honor. This misplaced reverence often shifts the focus from God to individuals, creating a culture of celebrity within the church that can overshadow the true essence of our faith. Similarly, when they idolize inanimate objects such as handkerchiefs or olive oil, attributing miraculous powers to these items, they have catchy lingos for it, such as faith extension tokens. You see, friends, such a terminology serves to mask the underlying idolatry. While they present these objects as tools for enhancing one's spiritual experience, their attention is taken away from God to these things. I have seen a generation of Christians who have cultivated a deep relationship with these objects in place of a genuine relationship that believers are meant to cultivate with God. Some people can't pray without turning a bottle of oil. They call it the power of God in a bottle. Some can't travel without an anointed mantle in their pockets. If they left it at home, they would have to return to get it. For a people that have been called from the life of using talisman, collecting tokens from their native doctors and sangoma, their idolatry never left their hearts. Their focus has shifted away from faith in the God to reliance on physical items, blurring the lines between worship and superstition. However, no matter how we seek to justify all these things. Idolatry is idolatry, and what the church needs to do is to repent because God hates idolatry. The church must confront the uncomfortable truth that these idols, whether they are people, objects, or even ideologies, can distract from the core message of the gospel. A genuine faith requires a total commitment to God, free from the shackles of past practices that do not align with His will. It is time for believers to examine their hearts, to identify the idols they may be harboring, and to seek true freedom in their faith journey.